How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, as you can see from the title of the video, the subsequent headline and the pictures, this story is in relation to a prisoner that was killed in his cell, a child murderer who killed his 2-day-old baby. This murder took place in November of 2017, so just last year, and it was Liam Deane who was murdered. Right now, the trial took place of the guy that killed him, but I thought, I initially believed that this baby killer, this Liam Deane, didn't go onto protection and put himself in general population and was killed by a prisoner in general population, right? From what I'm reading, if I'm reading between the headlines, I'm inclined to believe that the prisoner that actually killed him should have also been on the VP wing. For those that don't know, VP wing is the protection wing, right? Vulnerable prisoners, vulnerable in the fact that they'd be attacked on sight for the chat because of their convictions. Also, people put themselves on the numbers, people that might be in like OP, you've got deadheads and stuff that go on own protection, which live on in general population stuff. You've also got like former police officers that they might go on there because they'll feel they'll be attacked because the former police officers, the enemy of most criminals and stuff. And also obviously child murderers, rapists, paedophiles and everything else. It doesn't just house sex offenders, but for the most part, predominantly, there are sex offenders on the VP wing. Like I say, kiddie fiddlers, rapists, nonces, baby killers, things like that. Baby killers are on par with rapists, paedophiles and everything else, guys, right? But it's just, there's a twist in the thing and it's a bit crazy, guys, right? Tell me what you think about the video. As always, I'll put a link in the description below. Let me know what you think about this video, because like I said, I thought it was murdered in general population by a general population prisoner. It now, from what I've read here, well, it looks clear, and I'm inclined to believe that they should have both been on the VP wing. The guy that killed him was in prison, and he's been in prison for at least 10 years for rape and GBH. Now, it's not uncommon for sex offenders there's an embarrassment thing going on the numbers, right? Going on the protection wing. So what some people do, they try to hide the conviction, sex offenders, that people that should be on the VP wing, right? Because we don't want to be housed with them. But they don't go on the numbers, they go into general population, and when they're asked about their crime, they lie and stuff like that. They tell you that they're in for attempt murder, and that's why they're serving like 15 years or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, people lie about the convictions, right? And the sex cases, right? And that's the case here, guys, right? It's absolutely crazy, guys. Right, so anyway, I'm going to read the story out. As always, the link's in the description. It says here, cellmate jailed for murdering baby killer Liam Deane. Right, so you hear that and you think, oh, he deserves a medal. He's killed a fucking baby killer. Give him a medal. You won't be saying that when you've listened to this. A prisoner who used a broken bottle of aftershave to murder his baby killer's cellmate. Liam Deane, you see him pictured at the beginning of the video, age 22, from Wakefield, was found dead in his cell at HMP Leeds, also known as Armley Prison, in the early hours of the 12th of November 2017. He was jailed for the murder of his 2-day-old daughter. 2-day-old daughter, guys, last October. John Westland, you also see him pictured at the beginning, guys, age 29, who was serving a sentence for rape and grievous bodily harm, was convicted of Deane's murder after a trial at Leeds Crown Court and will serve a minimum of 19 years. That's on top of his rape conviction and also for GBH. Sentencing him, Judge Rodney Jameson, QC, told the inmate, "You told the jury that you believe Liam Deane was a sex offender, but he was not." Now, like I said to you, right, now if he was housed on the VP wing, right, that's full of rapists, paedophiles, kiddie fiddlers, baby killers, all that sort of stuff, right, this is why I'm inclined to believe there was both, right, in general population, and it'll play out and you'll see why. You believed him to be a sex offender, but he was not, right? But like I said, child murderers, baby murderers, they're on par with rapists and paedophiles. He had committed a very serious crime, but had admitted it from the very first and was trying to come to terms with what he'd done. The judge is talking about Liam Deane, about him killing his 2-day-old baby. He deserved to die for that. And so did the guy that's actually killed him. It is an unfortunate consequences of a life in prison that those who are themselves guilty of serious offences, as you were, will find another inmate to look down on. Given the nature of your own conviction, some might find that to be rank hypocrisy, because obviously it's like prison top trumps, right? You've got a rapist, right, and someone that's a long list of previous convictions for attacking older women that's in prison for rape and for breaking a woman's jaw, to then feel like he's above a baby murderer to target him and kill him. Right, so that's what it's talking about there. Given the nature of your own, I'm just going to go over that again. Given the nature of your own conviction, some might find that to be rank hypocrisy, because obviously they're talking about ranks within prison and stuff. West Yorkshire Police described Deane's killing of his newborn daughter as an appalling crime that tore her family apart, but said he was entitled to serve his time in prison. During Westland's, obviously the rapist, week-long trial, jurors heard the inmate used a broken bottle of aftershave to kill his cellmate. The victim had showed signs of asphyxiation caused by pressure to his head and face. Deane was found covered in blood in his cell by prison guards at approximately 05:30 hours. Shards of glass were found on a chair near the bunk bed with fingerprints matching Westland's. Obviously, they were sharing a cell. Westland told the jury Deane was regularly called a baby killer around the prison and faced daily threats, taunting because of the nature of his crime. Again, leading me to believe that they was both in general population as opposed to both being on the VP wing. Because obviously, you can't. Why are paedophiles and rapists, right, going to call him a baby killer around the and face daily threats and stuff? This leads me to believe that they was both in general population. Westland was lying about his offences, and Liam Deane either fancied himself as a hard man, as did Westland, and they thought they could soldier it out in general population. They lied about the convictions, but prisoners are very intuitive and a prisoner will talk to you, you'll tell them what you're in for, and you'll tell them how long you got, and then prisoners work it out and think, right, well, the sentence doesn't reflect the charge and the conviction. So prisoners then get on it, get the prison, they'll say, oh, let's have a look at your DEPS. Your DEPS is your prison paperwork, or your paperwork reference your conviction. If you're on remand, like the evidence against you, stuff like that, witness statements, things like that, and they'll go through it, and they're very, very clued up and stuff. And if you lie about your conviction, they'll work it out. But obviously, they both fancy themselves in general population. I believe. Do you believe that there was on the VP wing, the vulnerable prisoners wing, like full of kiddie fiddlers, people on protection, rapists, and all those people? Or do you believe he was in general population, and that's why he was obviously believed that his cellmate was a sex offender, when he was a sex offender himself? He was a sex case. Liam Deane didn't sexually abuse his child, but he did kill the baby. And like I say, paedophiles and rapists and child murderers are all in level par in prisoners' eyes, those in general population anyway. So let me know what you think, guys. So Westland told the jury Deane was regularly called a baby killer, I've already gone over this, around the prison, and faced daily threats and taunting because of the nature of his conviction. Again, leading me to believe that they was in general population, but they should have been on protection. He also said his cellmate was in financial debt with other prisoners. That's obviously probably down to drugs, I'm assuming, with spice, things like that. Westland, who obviously the rapist, who also done for GBH, was from Abingdon in Oxfordshire, was originally jailed in 2008. He's been in prison, guys, 10 years, and now he's just got a 19-year rep minimum on top of that, right? After he admitted raping and assaulting a woman in her 50s who he had met in a nightclub. At the time, Oxford Crown Court heard he punched the victim in the face and left her with serious injuries, including a fractured jaw. He also had a string of previous convictions for attacking older women. So he's obviously got a problem with older women. It might stem from his childhood or something like that, but that doesn't give him reason to go and attack older women. So a rapist that's also been done for GBH and has been in prison for, 9 years at the time, not obviously 10 years now, with a 19-year minimum on top for killing a baby killer. It was in debt to prisoners on the wing. It was regularly taunted and stuff like that and called a baby killer. But I'm confused because it says that Westland, the rapist, that believed he was a sex case, right, when he was actually a sex case himself. And then he obviously joined in with the general population and was like, yeah, fucking blah, blah, blah. But then it stated that he was regularly called a baby killer. So how could he be a sex case? And well, he could have been a sex case and a baby killer at the same time. But like I say, he was actually the sex case that killed a baby killer. Killed his 2-day-old baby, Liam Deane, right? And he paid for it with his life, and rightfully so, guys. You won't see a tear from me shed or anything like that. But the rapist, when I first read the story, you're inclined to believe that, oh well, Liam Deane's gone to the prison, being convicted. He's not gone on the numbers. Thought he can handle himself, or just thought that he can just walk into general population, and that someone in general population had murdered him. That's what I believed, and I was like, that guy deserves a medal. Then I read this story, which came out like 3 days ago, and I've been meaning to get round to doing the vlog, and that's why I've done it now. And you find out he's a rapist that's convicted with a long string of attacking older women. Rapist, killing a baby killer, prison rank and stuff like that. He must have thought that a rapist was above a baby killer. You have to let me know what you think about the video, guys. Very, very subjective matter. They both, to be honest, they both need fucking doing in. I'll guarantee you now, though, Westland, after he went to trial and it all played out in the media and stuff, I'll guarantee you he ended up on the VP wing after that. Because if he goes into general population, he'll end up getting attacked and stuff like that. The fact he's killed a baby killer would give him some credit, but at the end of the day, he's a dirty rapist who forcefully rapes a woman and then broke her jaw. And he's got a long string of convictions for attacking older women. They should both have been on protection. Well, they should. I don't believe in protection, to be honest. They should all be thrown in general population. But what I'm saying is, ordinarily, they would be on protection. But these two guys, it could have happened on the VP wing. But rapists, paedophiles and kiddie fiddlers and all that, right? And fucking calling him a child murderer on that wing. They all live in their own little world, them sick fucking freaks, right? And like I say, I'm inclined to believe that the fact he was getting terrorised and stuff, it was in general population. It could have well been on the VP wing, but I generally believe it was both in general population. Westland must have been lying about his conviction, and Deane must have been lying about his conviction. But prisoners are very, very clever and very clued up. Now, they'd either read the depths, go through the paperwork when they've gone for a shower, or ask them, or they'll just go, get on the phone, get on a mobile, and say, right, Google this kid, what's he in for? Information comes back, bam, jobs are good, and lever them. Like I say, guys, I've got no time for child murderers, rapists, or anything else. Baby killers, like I've said, anyone that's been in prison will know. Baby killers, paedophiles, and rapists, there's no rating there. There's not like a first, second, and third. They all need killing off. Simple as that. On that note, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll speak to you all soon. Cody out.